It all began on a cold evening when everything seemed to fall apart at once. She was alone, scared, and in pain, her cries for help echoing through the empty street. No one stopped until he did. A stranger with eyes that looked harsh at first, but carried something softer beneath. He didn't say much, just acted helping her into his car as panic and disbelief filled the air. In that chaotic moment, their lives collided in a way neither could have imagined. She didn't know his name, and he didn't ask for hers. All that mattered was the fragile life she was fighting to bring into the world. And though their meeting felt accidental, it was the kind of moment that destiny carefully arranges quietly, without warning, changing everything in an instant. It was the night a stranger stepped in and unknowingly changed her life forever. Bitter next morning brought no peace, only confusion and questions she couldn't answer. He stood before her, no longer the man who had helped her, but someone trapped in his own world of pride and family expectations. His father's threats echoed through the mansion, and in desperation, he made a decision that would bind their fates even tighter. He introduced her as his fiancée. A lie born out of necessity, not love. She wanted to scream, to run, but where could she go with a newborn in her arms and nowhere to call home? Their marriage was an arrangement built on convenience, not choice. Cold glances replaced warmth. Silence filled the space between them. Yet beneath the tension, something unspoken stirred, something neither could name. What began as a lie to save his inheritance slowly became the bridge between two broken souls destined to meet. Days turned into weeks, and what began as silent resentment started to shift in ways neither expected. Their arguments softened, their walls began to crack, and in the quiet corners of that grand, empty house, something fragile began to bloom. He noticed how she held her baby gentle but strong, and how her laughter, rare as it was, seemed to fill the air with a warmth he hadn't felt in years. She saw glimpses of kindness behind his arrogance, a man burdened by expectations and loneliness. They still fought, still denied what was growing between them. But the distance felt less like hatred and more like fear. Fear of falling for someone they were never meant to love. And one night, when their eyes met a little too long, the truth became undeniable. Somewhere between anger and silence, two broken hearts had started to heal each other. Just when it seemed their hearts were beginning to understand each other, the past came rushing back like a storm she thought she'd left behind. Whispers of a masked night, of a man she once loved but never truly knew, began to haunt her. Every touch, every glance from him stirred memories she couldn't explain. There was something in the way he looked at her, as if searching for a truth he couldn't quite reach. And then, piece by piece, it all began to unravel. The night under the stars, the hidden faces, the feeling of being seen for the first time. The stranger she once loved and the man she now lived with were not two people. After all, they were one and the same. The realization hit her like a breath she'd been holding for years. The man she was falling for had always been the one she never forgot. The truth, once hidden beneath layers of lies and fear, finally broke through, and with it came heartbreak. Accusations flew, old wounds reopened, and the walls they had carefully rebuilt began to crumble. His father's betrayal, her silence, and the cruel misunderstandings tore them apart just when they had started to find each other. But love, no matter how wounded, has a way of surviving the storm. In the quiet aftermath, When the shouting stopped and the tears ran dry, they saw what truly mattered. She wasn't after his wealth, and he wasn't the cold man she thought he was. They were both victims of pain, both searching for forgiveness in each other's eyes. It wasn't easy, it never is, but when he reached for her hand, trembling and sincere, she realized that sometimes forgiveness is the bravest form of love, and love, when it's real, always finds its way back. In the end, it wasn't the grand gestures or apologies that defined their love, it was the quiet understanding that followed. They had lost so much, endured so many trials, yet somehow they still found their way back to each other. The pain had shaped them, but it also made their love unbreakable. Standing together, hand in hand, they realized that destiny had never truly separated them and only tested their hearts. The memories of that first night, the chaos, the confusion, all led them here to a place where love no longer needed words to be real. He looked at her with the same eyes that once belonged to a stranger, but now they held a promise, one written not in chance, but in fate. Because some souls are meant to meet, lose each other, and meet again, proof that true love, like destiny, cannot be outrun.